So Mihika, welcome to the Leader Pass podcast. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and I can't wait to hear about what you do and what your expertise is and really who you serve. So can you walk through that for us?
Absolutely. So I am a personal coach.
Okay.
I started off as a personal coach for moms because motherhood was a very difficult process for me. It was a very difficult journey for me. I felt like I'd lost myself.
Okay.
And it took me a couple years to reprioritize me, give myself, permission to prioritize me ahead of other things, whereas I had always prioritized myself last.
Yeah.
And I put in the hard work, I put in the time, daily reflections, a lot of journaling, a lot of really looking in versus how I'd been trained my whole life was to look outwards, look outward, see what's going on around you. And really the key for me was to look internally and see, what is it that I want? Like, what am I looking to get out of life? And what I really wanted was to be a mighty mama. I wanted to be the mightiest version of myself.
I love that. Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, I started a company called One Mighty Mama. And the goal was to help women become the mightiest version of themselves.
That's awesome.
And when we think of mighty, we think physical strength. I just walked out of a keynote where they're doing American Ninja Warrior style moves. And I'm like, okay, one fine day, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not about the physical prowess. It's really about being mentally strong, being able to bounce back from setbacks, bounce back from challenges, having that resilience in life. And motherhood has 100% taught me that if I'm not resilient, like what good am I to anybody, right? I need to bounce back because these challenges come over and over. And what type of an example, more importantly, am I setting for my kids? I have a 13-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son, and I want them to see you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Setbacks are just part of the process.
Yeah.
And so what I do now is I coach clients as well as I get up on stages like these and I tell a larger audience, teach them how mindset is the key to being resilient. Mindset is the key to go from surviving to thriving.
Yeah.
And that is, honestly, it's my mission.
That's awesome. I love it. And I think it's a huge need. Obviously, I'm curious to get your take on this new generation coming into motherhood. What are you seeing that's either similar or different, or is it universal across the board with it?
It is definitely not universal.
Okay.
I am seeing them do things that I was afraid to do when I was first a mother.
Okay.
They are not afraid to break down those boundaries. They are so much more fearless, a lot more courageous, and just a lot more like, I don't give an F about how things were done before.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there's certain things that are part of tradition, but there's a whole lot that does not necessarily need to be done the way everybody else did it, or the way my mothers and my aunts and my grandmothers all did it. I can pave my own path, and I'm seeing so many of them. And sometimes I think, wow, like, you're not significantly younger than me, yet you have learned lessons that took me like 15, 20 years to even think about. And here you are right out of the gates. And of course, there are other challenges that they're facing that we're not. I think there's definitely a major identity crisis, a lot of comparison. Social media has its pros and cons. And I think as a new mother, social media is actually doing a disservice. Making everything look like it's so beautiful and so polished and so picture perfect when really it's not.
Yeah.
And what I would love to see is more social media influencers showing the real side of motherhood. And I think a lot of them are, but it's not quite, you
still
have
through that filter.
Yes. It's not quite infiltrated into like common society, if you will.
So do you do, when you talk about coaching, are you mostly one-on-one coaching, or do you do group, or how?
Primarily
walk us through
one-on-one.
that? Okay.
Primarily one-on-one. And when I initially started coaching, it was more like, okay, anything under the sun we can talk about. And now I found that with time and with my goal being scalability, I want to focus on certain things that are more impactful to my clients or to my ideal target client. And for that, I have focused in on morning routines.
Morning routines.
Morning routines.
Okay.
I know it seems so simple and so basic even, but that's really where the key to success is. If you can set the tone right at the beginning of the day, I mean, what can you not achieve over the course of the day? And I've turned it into a keynote called The First 10, focusing on the first 10 minutes of your day. And it's again, sounds so basic, but that's the whole point, is to make it seem so simple, so attainable,
100%.
that it's what I almost like to call stupid simple, that it's which is so easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
One of the things that I believe in so strongly is that when we're creating new habits for ourselves, books like Atomic Habits, or the what is it, the Magical Morning or the Perfect Morning or something, they talk about how doing something consistently over a long period of time, 28 days is what they call it, right? 28, 30 days to create a new habit. I like to take it one small step further, is that whatever that action is that you're picking up on, it has to be something that you're dedicated to doing even on your worst day. We always talk about, hey, I want to think leaps and bounds. 10 minutes, I could do an hour, Mihika. It's so simple. I'm like, yeah, today you can do an hour because you're feeling good. You woke up on the right side of the bed. You had enough sleep. You're in a familiar setting. You're at home in your own bed. What if tomorrow you're waking up and you're at a beautiful conference in Arizona and you were up late last night because you were networking with new people?
Right.
What about then? Are you really going to get up early so you can do an hour-long morning routine? I think not.
Yeah.
So what is the bare minimum that you could do? If 10 minutes is something that you are able to think about and consume and follow through with in a sustainable habit, then that is where you start.
Deal. So it's a big ROI on that 10 minutes.
100%. And it seems like a very small investment, but really that's the only investment that you should be making. Do that for 30 days, turn it into a habit, and then think, okay, well, 10 minutes wasn't so bad. Let me try 15.
Right.
And then work your way up.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we try to take too large of a bite right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
so when you're coaching, do you actually sit down and help them design those 10 minutes for them specifically?
Absolutely.
Or is it cookie cutter and you
specifically.
Okay.
For them specifically.
Cool. That's cool.
And there's 3 components to it. One is mind, one is body, and the third is focus. And if you can incorporate all 3 of those into your first 10, I mean, granted, you're only doing on average, 2 to 3 minutes per.
Right.
So you're not really spending a whole lot of time, but it's just enough that, again, on your worst day, you're able to do.
Yeah.
And if you're having a good day, commit to doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
But know that the bare minimum is just that 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I know you're in demand with people, especially one-on-one, and what you invest in them, but how would they go to your website to find you? Or what do you suggest people do to do that?
OneMightyMama.com, and that's the number one.
The number one, okay.
Number one. And you can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm big on Instagram. Facebook, not so much, but LinkedIn and Instagram are the best places to reach me.
Are you doing virtual too, or does it have to be in person?
All virtual.
Okay, good.
All virtual.
It's convenient for people.
Very convenient for me, convenient for them. Hey, we're all mothers. We're all busy.
Yeah.
You don't have time to, even step out of the house many times to go to the coffee shop. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, if it's your lunch break, I'm happy to talk to you then.
Awesome. Well, I've loved having you here, and I'm sure people are going to be hearing this and going, I need you. I need what you're doing. And it's great to have a coach. I'm a big believer in that. So it's awesome you're doing that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
All right.